Rocket League. For years, it's a game we've loved, hated, often one more than the other. But when was the last time you stepped back and looked at the world you were in? This is Rocket League Unsolved Mysteries, Episode 1. Let's begin our dive into the world of Rocket League, where it began for myself and many others with its release in 2015. It launched with 4 maps, those maps being DFH Stadium, Manfield, Beckwith Park, and Urban Central. A question that quickly arose for many was, why are the spectators eggs? Eggs that appear to be alive. And from these questions we began to ask, if the eggs are the inhabitants of this world, what does that make us, the cars? Cars capable of doing things no car in our own world can, such as jumping and flying. But over the years of grinding the competitive ladder, our curiosity waned. We stopped asking these questions. Until now. Before we get into the real theory crafting, we must look at the world of Rocket League and eliminate the maps and map types that don't add information. Many of the standard arenas have weather and day-night variations. This tells us that the world of Rocket League has a day-night cycle, just like our world, and experiences weather patterns in much the same way. But that's all they tell us, so variations of standard maps won't be discussed. Both the drop shot map, Core 707, and the experimental maps appear to be inside some sort of simulation. There are no spectators or world features for us to look at. With the exception of the physical arena shape, Arctagon and Tokyo Underpass are identical to Starbase Arc and Neo Tokyo. Throwback Stadium is also just a variation of Manfield. Dunk House is a small enclosed arena that doesn't add anything. And lastly, Rivals Arena. Yeah, I think we all know why it was added to Rocket League. If you're watching, please don't hate me on Coroni. I know you worked for Mattel at the time and helped with this, but I had to say it. Anyways, if you've been keeping track, that leaves us with the 13 standard maps. Of those 13 maps, 11 have eggs, the exceptions being Urban Central, which has none, and Beckwith Park, which also has no eggs, but does feature stands and a skyline. Next, we have what I like to call our stadium maps: Manfield, Champions Field, and DFH Stadium. They have skylines, geographical features, nature, and packed out stands. They show the importance of Rocket League events in this world, and the great architectural feats of this egg-based society. Something that's clearly seen on these maps are world flags. These flags are identical to many in our own world, and from this, it's clear we are in a universe parallel to our own. By the way, Bhutan's flag is the best, don't at me. The first expansion map that was added to the world was Utopia Coliseum, which really doesn't add much, while the second expansion map, Wasteland, adds so much that I'm going to make an entirely separate follow-up video to explain why it's an outlier. On the map Salty Shores, we see eggs wearing both sunglasses and hats to protect them from the sun. There's restaurants alongside various other shops, proving that they have a functioning economic system and require food. Neo Tokyo further confirms this with a sprawling city advertising things such as ramen. The next piece of evidence I would like to submit to you, the jury, is Aquadome. That's right, if the eggs aren't human-like, then why do they need their own pockets of air to spectate? If they didn't need to breathe, wouldn't the stands just be in the water surrounding the arena, like in every other arena? Now let's take a quick step back to recap. The eggs have sprawling cities with great architectural feats. They need hats and glasses to protect them from the sun. They have a functioning economy with shops and restaurants to eat at, and they need to breathe to survive. From these 4 pieces of evidence we've collected, we can conclude that the eggs are indeed human-like. However, we still haven't answered how the cars fit into this world. For that, we must turn to Farmstead. Farmstead. Farmstead is the first key to unlocking the unsolved mystery of how the cars relate to this egg society. Looking around Farmstead, the most noticeable details are the billboards, which serve to further confirm how the egg society works much like our own. But a slightly less noticeable feature of this map is the sign at the entrance of the ranch. And what do you notice looking at the sign? That's right, 2 cars with horns, just like bulls, like livestock. Now I understand why you might be skeptical at this point, but stick with me for a sec, there's more. In every map, if there's a creature, whether it be aquatic or aves, it's an animated moving creature, except for one map. That's right, Farmstead. In Farmstead, the one map where you expect animated creatures, you find cutouts. Back in 2015, a YouTuber by the name of Fraudcrest found Urban Central's hidden announcer in the game sound files. Let's listen to a couple of these clips.
All vehicles currently participating in the Rocket League match will be impounded without further notice. owner of the residence is the propeller's meeting. Please report to the customer service kiosk. Your assistance is needed.
Put together, it becomes clear that the cars are not only owned by someone, but that they are alive because of the keyword participating. The cars are the ones performing the action, and therefore must be alive. But if that's not enough to convince you, let's take a look at the final and most clear-cut evidence that we, the cars, are owned by the egg people. 3 years ago, a Reddit user with a name I would surely butcher translated the signs on Neo Tokyo to English and reported, quote, "Nothing interesting found." Oh, how I beg to disagree, because in his third image, he found this: beloved car doctor. Now, I don't speak Japanese, so to make sure he didn't make a mistake in his translation, I had my Japanese-speaking friend, Wired, independently translate all of the signs on Neo Tokyo. Scrolling through his translations, I found exactly what I had been looking for. The doctor of my beloved car. At this moment, I realized it was all true, and that my hours looking through the maps to find evidence was worth it, because we are all pets of the eggs, placed in the arena for their entertainment. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think of my theory. Also, you may have noticed I mostly left out Starbase, Ark, and Wasteland, but to find out why I did that, you'll have to wait for part 2. If you'd like to know when that goes up, you can either follow me on Twitter or hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell. Special thanks to Heka and Wired for helping me with this video. Until next time.